Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. More importantly, welcome back to fulfilling my fantasy of being a book content creator. It's never gonna happen, but let's just have a little bit of fun. I thought I would just hop on here with a little chill video. I'm having a really relaxed day. I just watched the first episode of that new show with Rachel Sennett, and that's her name, right? And Josh Hutcherson is playing her boyfriend and Odessa's in it, whatever. Watched that first episode. It was okay. It was pretty good. Just been reading, hanging out, and I thought that I would just show you guys my monthly reading wrap-up for October. Except, spoiler alert, I am lying. I'm just gonna straight up be honest with you right off the bat. The title's lying. This is not my October reading wrap-up. I'm being generous. This is more like my September-October reading wrap-up. So if you're okay with little white lies in the caption, then we're totally chill and we're good to go. It's gonna be a quick little 1-2. I'm gonna try not to yap too much about each book, but just overall give like a very real reading wrap-up. A lot of these videos of people doing monthly reading wrap-ups, they're like 20 books every month. I don't know how they're doing that. I do the best that I can, but I've read some pretty good books recently and I feel like I just have to do it justice by speaking about them. So let's just get into it, okay? This is an honorable mention because technically, here I go again, I read this at the end of August, but shut up. This is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I really liked it. I will say that when I bought this book, it was actually a gift. When my mother gifted me this book because I said I wanted it, it was because the recommendations and the reviews on TikTok when it first came out were crazy. Like, everyone was like, this is so good, like, this is so romantic. And the beginning was really good, okay? I really enjoyed it. About a little over the halfway mark, I got a little bored, but the ending saved it. And if a book has a good ending, then it could really save the book. But in case you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about this guy, Aidan Valentine, who is a radio show a host of a radio show called Heartstrings, and it's basically people call in and ask for dating advice, and he gets a call one day from this child who's basically saying, I'm calling in because my mom needs serious help in the romance department. She cannot get a boyfriend. Yeah, I want to see my mom happy. And her mom is Lucy Stone. And they basically form like a little meet cute there, and she ends up coming on this show because this caller came in. She gets on the phone, whatever. It goes viral, basically. The child's calling in about her mom. That whole thing goes viral. So it leads to her working at the radio station with him. And yeah, it's kind of cute. They both go on like little character development journeys. He's super cynical and keeps people at arm's length. He has a bunch of guards up. She is a working mom, and I really liked the way that they showed co-parenting in this book because they had a very healthy co-parenting, and I feel like not them two, but her and her baby daddy had a really healthy co-parenting situation, and I feel like it was really cool to see a family that's just because the parents aren't together, it's not like a broken home. It was still really warm and fuzzy, and the romance was really, really cute. I really love these two, but it's not my favorite. I will just be honest. I'll probably give this about 3 stars, which is still fine, and I'm not even big on ranking my books, but it's a good book. And if you're into like light-hearted romance books, the spiciness is on the lower scale. There's a little bit of spice. I don't really care about that. I don't judge books off the metrics of how spicy they are. I literally could take it or leave it. But overall, solid read. If you watched my last book video, you know that this author and this universe is very near and dear to my heart. But I decided that I would finally stop putting it off and I would finish the cover. Guys, bear with me here. Finish the Like Us series. This is book 13 in the Like Us series. She's a mammoth. Literally, this book is humongous. This book has been sitting on my shelf judging me for over a year, like, hey, when are you gonna read me? Don't you love me? Don't you love our series? And although I do love this series, it just got a little repetitive, and there's so many characters and it gets kind of messy, but nonetheless it's still super entertaining, and this book was so good. I was obsessed. There's just so many twists and turns within the Like Us series. You never really know what's gonna happen next. It's like a big ass soap opera. It's so entertaining, and I love Luna and Donnelly. They were my favorite couple out of the Like Us series. So if you're into a long series with found family and real family tropes, read the Like Us series, okay? Yeah, I'm really glad I finished this, but I won't lie, I did read it on my Kindle because I was like, I can't walk around with this. I can't walk around with this. I can't hold this up every night. So I read it on my Kindle, but it's really good. I would give this book like a 4 stars. I wish I could like put these somewhere so you guys can like see it in the back. Yes. Oh my god, I'm a booktuber. Period. Okay. The reason why I rushed to finish that book, not rushed, but I was like, okay, it's time to read that book, was because this book came out and I was stoked for this. This is Burn Bright by Kristen Becker Ritchie. This is the first installment of the Cobalt Empire series, which is within the universe of the Like Us Addicted series, all that. I am obsessed. I've been dying for Cobalt content, and we see them a lot in Like Us books, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. But basically there's this family called the Cobalts, like that's their last name. They're just rich and they have a bunch of kids, and they're all very intelligent and unique in their own way. And we finally read about the youngest son. We get the perspective of the youngest son, who's like a little bit different than the rest of his family. He's not as intellectual in the academic sense because it's just not something that piques his interest. He's more of an athletic guy. He is a nature lover. He's a vegan. He's just, you know, all nature loving athletic jock. And he meets a girl named Harriet who is punk princess. I love her. She's like a punk rocker. She's in pre-med. She's really cool, and you get their romance but also his family drama and his trauma, and there's a big revelation at the end. This book was so entertaining and honestly re-sparked my love for this universe. Not that it ever went away, but it just really reminded me, went back to the core like college romance vibe that I originally fell in love with the original series. This is a 5-star read. I was obsessed. Okay, his books were all so great, and so I started to feel really good about reading again, and I started to feel good enough about reading that I thought I would venture off to something that I don't typically read, and that is dark academia. I picked up If We Were Villains. Now this book is not underground at all. This book is very popular and was trending on TikTok a couple years ago, and I was like, cool, I'll never read that. I'm not a dark academia kind of girl, but this is dark academia meets like mystery psychological thriller. This book fucked me up. I'm serious, like this book was insane. When I posted that I was reading this book, I had a couple people slide up and was like, this book will change your life, and that's subjective, honestly. I don't know if it changed my life, but it definitely sparked a new intrigue and me thinking that, okay, maybe I can branch out of the books that I normally read. As you can tell, I'm a romance reader. I'm someone who loves romance and dramas and stuff like that, but reading something like this, I was like, you know what, let's challenge myself. It's very Shakespearean heavy. Like, they talk about Shakespeare so much because it is about these 7 friends who go to this very specific university college that's all about the performing arts and all about Shakespeare, and they're in the drama department and all they do is Shakespeare. They speak in Shakespeare like it's a second language that only they can understand. They are so manipulated by Shakespearean plays that they kind of forget that they're not in one. When a death does happen, it changes the dynamic of the group, but you're getting past and present perspective. You're kind of getting the main character after he is let out of prison, which is not a spoiler, it's on the back and it's literally on the first page. He is getting out of prison and he is speaking to a detective who was on the case 10 years ago when it happened. He is finally ready to tell the full story of what actually happened. It is devastating. When I think about this book, because I have thought about it so much since reading it, I get so emotional because of the ending. It makes me so sad, but I felt like I had no idea what was going on the whole book. I was like getting like brain fucked. I was getting mind fucked the whole time. I was like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know how to feel. I didn't even know if I could trust the main character. Reluctantly, I did like the main character. And then I found out online that people didn't like him, which is weird. This is a 5-star read. And for anybody who read this book a couple years ago and they're like, you are so late to the game. Girl, I know, okay? But I'm here now. So I recommend If We Were Villains. This is a special edition copy that I found at Barnes & Noble. It was buy one, get one 50% off. Or else I would have just gotten the regular copy, but it has sprayed edges and blood splatter, which I think is really cool. Really, really loved this book. There it goes. Okay, next up, because I needed a palette cleanser after whatever that was, so much brain power to be using to read that book. I read My Vampire Plus One. No, I'm not kidding. I read My Vampire Plus One. It is a campy little vampire rom-com. It is part of this interconnected series. The first one was My Roommate is a Vampire. I did a reading vlog on that in this channel, so click here or here, somewhere up here if you want to watch that video. I had so much fun while reading that book, and these little rom-com vampires had me in a chokehold. They're so fun. They're so like playful and campy and ridiculous in the best way possible that I just like ate it the fuck up, and I can't wait. I have the third one. It's on my like immediate TBR. This is the third one I found in Barnes & Noble. I was like, wait, hold on a second. I didn't even know that she came out with a third one. But I'm obsessed with this little series. This is My Road Trip with a Vampire. That's on my immediate TBR. But this one was so good. Really about this woman who is career driven, and her family is always getting on her about not having a boyfriend. Why don't you have a boyfriend? Come on, get married. All your cousins and your siblings are getting married and having kids, and you are just so stuck in your career. You need to have a boyfriend. Weird. And she's like, I do have a boyfriend, and he will be coming to my cousin's wedding. And they're like, really? She's like, yeah. They're like, okay, great, can't wait to meet him. She's like, he doesn't exist. So she goes out to find a boyfriend, or a fake boyfriend, someone that she could just bring to this wedding as a +1 so they would get off her back. And she picks one of the few, not the only, but one of the few people that are vampires, actually. So this guy she meets is a vampire. You meet him in the first book. His name is Reginald, and he's super spunky and weird and cool and dresses very odd, and he's actually on the run from this vampire cult who's trying to kill him. And it's like I said, it's campy, it's fun, and they spark up a little romance, and you get a little bit of closure from the first couple in the first book, My Roommate is a Vampire. That book kind of ends with a couple loose ends, and then they get acknowledged in this book, so that's great. They're just so fun. If you need a fun palette cleanser, something to get you out of a reading slump, it's so quick, it's so easy. I truly do recommend these little books. Who doesn't love vampire rom-coms? It's a genre that we need more content in, and I will die on that too. So, oh my god, I'm gonna wait till that ends. Oh my god, they won't let me skip this ad, and I'm not gonna continue with the Fortnite in the back. I also don't know if I rated this book. Did I? I would give this book a solid 4 stars. It was a lot of fun. Is it perfect? No. The writing is good, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's like the ridiculousness of him being a vampire is just always so underwhelming in these books. Like, they find out and they're over it in like a second. And not that I want it to be dragged on. I mean, it's a short book, but I don't know. There's some things where I'm like, you cringe a little bit, but so I'm giving it a solid 4 stars. Moving on, after reading the Cobalt Empire series, after reading Burn Bright by Krista Mbaka-Ritchie, I started getting a lot of Addicted Verse stuff on my TikTok, and it was making me like, my brain can't comprehend that they're just words on paper, that it's not like a TV show I could just put on in the background. As I was getting ready the other night, I was like, I wish I could watch like Addicted to You. Like, I wish I could watch the series, you know, while I'm doing my makeup. And then I was like, hello, audiobooks exist. So I listened to this book on audio, Spotify Premium, It was so fun. Oh my god, the nostalgia that I got from book 1, and I listened to the whole thing. Kind of forget how deep in their addictions they were. And I talked about this book in my last book video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. Just know it follows a couple called Lo and Lily, and they have respective addictions, and they are going through the trials and tribulations of that. Okay. This book kickstarts an entire universe, an entire journey, and Lily is the beginning. This whole book is in her perspective, and she really is the queen of the empires of the empires. Like, she's everything. They wouldn't be who they are today in these books if it wasn't for her, and she's like one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Along with Lo, I just forget how like fucked up he is in this book sometimes, but it's okay. It's so good. I urge everybody, if you want a long-standing series that you could just binge and dig your teeth into, I urge everybody to go out and read the Addicted series. Look up the reading orders, look up all that. And I wanted to listen to the other books because I'm like, I don't know if I can commit to rereading the whole series, but I might, honestly. But the other audiobooks are not out yet, so I might just physically read them. There are so many parts that I'm like, oh, I want to get to. I like want to re-experience for the first time. Well, no, I want to re-experience them. It would not be for the first time. But Addicted to You reread, a fun little reread. So that is 6 books that I have read in the past 2.5 months. I'm not a slow reader. It's just sometimes my life gets very busy and I can't just stay at home and read a book. So I try to find time where I can. But if you must know, my current read is Six of Crows. I am not a big fantasy reader. Ignore the ACOTAR on my shelf. I haven't even opened it. It still has the plastic on. I'm really not a fantasy reader. And I remember wanting to read this book years ago, but getting too chicken shit to do so. And I won't lie, if I tried to read this book way back when, I probably would have gave up after the first chapter, but I'm a grown-up now. Even though this is technically a YA book, I'm grown now. I can get through a fantasy and comprehend what's going on. I'm this far into it. 223. Be proud of me. I've been reading all my life, and fantasy is just not a genre that I ever could handle, but I'm getting there, okay? And here we are reading Six of Crows. I'm really curious to see how it ends, and if I should read Crooked Kingdom. I might just get it on my Kindle if I really am obsessed. Right now I'm interested. There are things that I like. I highlighted a couple things last night because I was like in shock. And yeah, they're getting into the beginning phase of their heist. And I won't lie, me reading this book has a little bit to do with the heist that happened in the Louvre in France. I was just like, oh, I got to read a book like that. And there's magic, and it's fun, okay? So, I'm getting into it. Also, before I go to this book that I'm also currently listening to, you can't even tell. Oh, there we go. I'm listening to Bottom of the Pyramid. Everyone's blinking red at me, yelling at me. Is a memoir from Nia from Dance Moms. I used to be obsessed with that show, and it is really interesting to hear her perspective of things and her experience and the shit that she went through on that show. I'm on chapter 6 right now, so yeah, kind of in my audiobook era. All in all, that is it. That is what I have read or am reading currently. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video of me showing you and talking to you about books. If you like this shit, please let me know, because I could really get into this. Yeah, I will keep you guys updated periodically in my life. I'll do a check-in every once in a while to tell you guys about the books that I've read, if you guys are into that. But yeah, happy readings, guys, and I'll see you very, very soon. I just want to take a thumbnail real quick. I think I'm good.